Hey, welcome everybody. Yes, indeed, it is Wednesday, lunch hour across these United States as all eyes are on Minneapolis, Minnesota. And here is the Curtis and Curtis Show. Welcome, Kay. Thank you for another edition of the Race to Minnesota.
Sure.
Awesome,
Looking
awesome.
forward to it.
Awesome. So, hey, be sure to write your questions in the panel there, guys. We just are here to hopefully motivate you, and whether you're actually going to Minnesota or not, you are welcome to come along for this ride. Hey, Amber. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Greg. Hey, if you guys would please put your comments in the box there and let Kay and I know how the audio and visual is coming along here as we're getting going on the race to Minnesota. That would be greatly appreciated. So we are in the race to Minnesota, which is coming up in July in Minnesota. But please know whether you are actually able to come or not. We have lots of people registering even through the weekend here. Please know we want you to participate in these contests. We want you to be with us in spirit as we move along towards Minnesota. Okay? So, I'm going to go through some of these introductory slides here and just give you the date again. The Race to Minnesota. We will be in Minnesota July 19th, 20th, and 21st. If you want to know more about what's going to happen in Minnesota at our trifecta training, I put a link in the panel right above you there. You can go to ebstrifecta.com and listen to the whole thing, and you can come to one day or three. Well over 90% come to all 3 days, so we encourage you to do that. So if you're a Shop Your Way to Wealth member, Book Flipping Profit System member, or an online shopping profit system member, you are really greatly encouraged to expand and deepen your endeavors by coming to Minnesota in July and meeting a lot of great people. Okay, I don't see any feedback as far as our audio visual, but it appears on my end all the electrons are running smoothly. So I'm going to go ahead. I jumped down to slide 2, week 6. I'll go ahead and jump to slide 3 with the hands there. And thank you again for doing this for us, and turn it over to you.
Okay. So these first few slides, if you've been with us as we go along, they're repetitious, but I just want to make sure if there's anyone new that's watching this time that they have an idea of what's going on, but we will go through them quickly. So, as Kurt said, everyone can participate whether you're coming to Minnesota or not. The goal of these challenges, we usually run them around events and different things like that, but the goal is really to get your business moving forward in a positive way, and these challenges are a great way to do that. The next one, if you're already an EBS member, whether you have our free membership or purchased a course, you're good to go. If not, you need to join our community. You can join it with a free membership, doesn't cost you anything. Go to www.joinebs.com, and that'll give you access to the pages that you need to be able to participate. Next slide. So the action steps are, there's 4 things. You post a map in the EBS Facebook group page, in the Race to Minnesota unit post, and they're clearly marked. Post a declaration of intent in the same the post in the unit, and post a strategy plan. Those 3 things you only do once, and then you report daily using the end of day tracker in the EBS back office. So those are the things that you have to do. Next slide. And if you need more details on any of those things, you can watch previous recordings towards the beginning where we went into these things in detail. So we're trying to make this fun, and so there's prizes you can win. If you are a weekly winner, we announce a weekly winner every week. Then every 3 weeks we have consistency winners, and then a grand prize winner will be announced at the Trifecta event, July 19th to 21 in Bloomington, Minnesota. So next slide. So our weekly prizes, we keep adding to them, and you have choices of the e-commerce business school mug or the e-commerce business school journal. 1 person a week is drawn for this. You had to have posted your map, your DOI, and your summary plan, and then you had to have posted daily for the previous week in order to qualify for that. The next slide. Then with all this training we've been doing, I have created some products for my POD store in a new store that I'm Haven't really even launched yet, so I've just kind of tagged it onto my genealogy store just so I have it available. But I created these manifesting mugs. And so if you're the weekly winner, you can choose from the e-commerce business school mug or journal, or one of these 3 mugs here. Next slide.
Just a second, Kay. I'm putting that URL into the thing because it's really way too
Oh,
long. There we go.
okay.
In case anybody wants
Yeah.
to purchase one of those, if you don't win one, best idea is to win one. But if you don't,
Yeah.
you can still get one.
And they are available on that link if you want to buy one. And then, so there's actually 6 different manifesting mugs. They all have the same words. They're just different graphics, different designs. And then the next slide. Last week we introduced the gratitude journal. And so if you could use the EPS journal for that, or you could pick the gratitude journal that I designed. So those are the prizes. And so we're ready to announce, drum roll, are ready to announce our weekly winner for this week is, next slide, Jackie Kramer is our winner this week. So I'm not sure if she's on yet, but we'll be watching for her to come in and we just need to everyone give her kudos. She's done a really good job of posting her dailies and getting things done. To claim the prize, before, as we said before, you can email EBS support. The easiest way is in the back office to go to that little, sorry, my husband's in heating and air conditioning mode and that's kind of crazy. There, he's grabbing it fast. I should have called him, said I'm on a call, grab those calls quick. Anyway, you go to the support at the bottom when you log into the e-commerce business school. That's the easiest way to get to support. If you want any of the products that I've designed, make sure you're clear what you want with Lisa so that she can let me know so I can get it ordered. So let's go to the next slide. Now our consistency winners come every 3 weeks and you get a $25 gift card and brownies. And then our grand prize, you can go to the next slide. I've kind of got you up on my iPad, but it's a delay, so I'm not sure if you're seeing. Our grand prize is a $100 Amazon gift card. So that's exciting stuff. And I have won all of these things in the past, and they're awesome. Great things to have in your business, and the brownies are really yummy. Okay, so we're up to our goofy question of the week. So next slide. I want you to answer these questions. What is your favorite eating place when you're out and about or sourcing? I know you always, if you were like me, you weren't always thinking, you had your brain on all these places, organizing where you're going to go and all of that, and you go running out the door and realize, I didn't bring anything to eat.
All right, Kay, I have a question for you, though. I have a question for you. You ready?
Yep.
There's a
Yep.
young lady on the call or on the webinar here, and that's Sarah Sochas. I think you might know her.
Hey, Sarah!
And
Yeah, that's my buddy, my partner.
Okay. I'm going to put you on the spot. I just want to welcome Debbie and Kathy and Sarah and Diana and David and Marvin and Rill and Debbie and Amber and Lisa and Greg. And I think I missed a few people as we're getting rolling here. But Kay, you're really good friends with Sarah. So why don't you tell people why you're really good friends with Sarah, and obviously do an unashamed plug for events. But do you know Sarah's favorite place to eat? How close are you?
It's not going to be in this list that I'm showing because she's going to eat vegan.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Well,
if she had salads, there might be some places that have salads that she would do okay with.
Sure. And Sarah says, wow, young lady, thank you, Kurt. So before you get into the trading today, we are heading to Minnesota. Did you meet Sarah in Minnesota? I know you met at an event. Okay.
Yeah, it was our first event. We met, but we really didn't connect there. We had both at that event upgraded to the e-commerce masters program, and we were put in the same accountability group. And it was through that weekly association in the accountability group, and it didn't take long because the event was in September, and I think by end of October, 1st of November, we were JVing and doing stuff together. We started really we were just drawn to each other. So we started wholesale and a bunch of other things, and we just have been we got certified together. We worked on helping each other get certified the following April, to be a trainer and coach. And it's just been a fun. So for 3 years, we've been doing more of a JV relationship. And this year we decided to make it a permanent business relationship. And so we've been working at closing my store down and moving everything to her store and all of that because she's got a better LLC set up than what I did.
So you have a lot of movement going on. So anyway, guys, come to the event in July,
Yeah.
and who knows what could happen. Look what's happened for Kay and Sarah together. So
Yeah, it's been awesome.
I just saw
And
Sarah,
really,
wanted
I
you to
think
mention
for the
that.
first year and a half, I don't think either one of us missed an event. We were at everything, just for the networking and for the education and for the support. And you could see the difference in our business. I think we both broke 100,000 the first year in sales. So
Awesome.
it was awesome. All right, let's get into mindset. Next slide. And then we can jump right to the next one. So that first one was just kind of an intro to transition into the mindset.
On law of
So today-
vibration. Yep.
Yep. Today we're going to talk about the law of vibration. And a lot of you are probably familiar with it if you've heard the law of attraction and all these things that have gone around for years. But let's go to the next slide, Kurt. The law of vibration states that not only is everything in a state of vibration or motion, but that vibration is actually a medium for transferring signals. And so there's information and things that are transferred through that vibration. Next slide. So the faster the vibration, the more fluid a substance is. So when water is vibrating at a very low rate, it forms ice. But when air molecules around the ice are moving very rapidly, then as they bump up against the surface of the ice, that rapid movement is transferred to the water molecules, and they begin to move more rapidly. And as they begin to move more rapidly, the ice starts to melt. So this should remind you a little bit of the law of continual transformation that we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You're going to find as we go through these laws, there's just a synergy and an interrelationship with all of them. And it's hard to talk about any one without bringing other ones in, but you'll see how they relate to each other and help you understand the whole process. So let's go to the next one. So as we said that the law of the vibration is a medium for transferring signals, we should all be very aware of some of these things. They're very familiar to us. We have microwaves, we have radios, we have cell phones, we have tablets, we have the internet. All of these things are examples of using the law of vibration to transmit information. Okay, now next one. There's also color, light, and sound are also vibrations. When we hear different sounds or we see different colors, it is the variations in wavelengths which make the difference. For example, red has a wavelength of about 700 nanometers, while violet is around 400. And the other visible colors are somewhere in between. So let's go to the next one. When you tune into a radio station, did you pull that music into the room when you turned on the radio? Or was the music already there? If you're not sure, the music was already there. The radio just made it a way for us to connect to that vibration and made it so that we could hear it. It was already around. Next slide. The same when we're calling on a phone. Because of these invisible signals that we can't see, you can punch in some numbers and speak to a specific person that's across town, across the country, or even around the world. Next slide. And the incredible thing about it is all of these things, the telephone, the radio, the microwave, transmitters, iPads, cell phone, all of these things were created from the mind of man. Somebody got an idea, played with it, worked with it, whatever it was, and figured out how to do that. It was the mind of man that created these devices that enabled us to hook into all these various different vibrations. Next one. So, can there be any question that our minds have the capability to be such a tool too? Is there any if our minds can create these devices, why isn't our mind able to actually do what we've created these devices to do? Next slide. So whether you understand this law of vibration or not, whether you believe it or not, doesn't really matter. You are using this, you are using yourself at this tool of vibration all the time already. It's an understanding how these laws operate that helps you to take better control of your mind and your mindset and your life. Next slide. Let's take our gut instinct for a minute. Think about that. How many of you pay a lot of attention to your gut? That instinct that hits you, okay? This is a very, very powerful tool if you recognize it and pay attention to it and learn to trust it. Don't ever discredit your gut. You are not paranoid. Your body can pick up on bad vibrations or good vibrations, but they can particularly pick up on bad vibrations. If something deep inside of you says something is not right about a person or a situation, trust it. Because, I mean, even think about going in, someone walks into a room. And if they're coming in with a negative vibe, you can instantly feel it. You know that that's there. Karma's a great thing. Go ahead. Next slide. Karma has no menu. You get served up what you put out. So it's important to pay attention to your gut so that you are sensitive to what other people are bringing into the arena close to you, so that you can discern whether you need to stay around or whether you need to move away. And you also, the kind of energy and thoughts and vibrations you put out come back to you as well. Now, some people think that this is way out stuff, and then it's just kind of, I don't know if you want to call it new age or just kind of out there, because it's hard to kind of wrap your head around some of this stuff. Let's go to the next slide. This is someone I really like. Albert Einstein. Everyone knows he's a genius. And he made the statement that everything is energy or vibration, and that's all there is to it. If you match the frequency of the reality that you want, you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not philosophy. This is physics. So this is actual physical law that is behind all of this talk that we do. And we are bound to it whether we like it or not. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. What this means is that your life is already in perfect harmony with the thoughts and the feelings that you have stored in your mind. So if you don't like where you're at, you need to make some changes. It's as simple as that. Your life, your situation, what's happening is a direct reflection of the thoughts and feelings that you have stored. Some of them may be subconscious, you're not even aware of, which is why it is so important for you to become aware of your thoughts and that. Next slide. So what is our goal here? One of the easiest ways to pay attention to what's going on in terms of our thoughts is to pay attention to our emotions. Next slide. Our emotions are really a key to the thoughts that are going on in our life. If we find ourselves demonstrating and exhibiting a lot of positive emotions, then we can pretty well guarantee our thoughts are kind of in the right place, or we've got control of them so that if negative thoughts come in, we're pushing them out, or we're backing up, as I've taught earlier, and getting out of the wavelength of that negative energy. But if we find our thoughts are more on the negative side, we need to start paying attention to that, because it's having a profound effect on your life, not in a positive way. Now, an interesting thing, and we can go to the next slide, Kurt. So I read a book once called Power and Force by David R. Hawkins, and he ranked the vibration of emotions on a scale of 1 to 1,000, with 1,000 being the highest. And so when we look at some of these emotions that we feel, we can see that, you know, they're on the high. This is kind of like the high scale. You know, this is on the upper. You know, we're moving into the upper scales of vibration and energy. So we're going to be attracting these higher, more positive things in our life. Let's go to the next slide. But as we start participating in or entertaining the negative side, you can see how quickly they crash down, and what a lower vibration you're resonating at. And whatever you're resonating at, that law of vibration, you're going to pull in. That's just, it's law. Now, next slide. One of the best ways to boost these vibration is with a little gratitude. We talked about that last week, and the sky is the limit. Gratitude can wrap around any of these emotions and boost it up, any of the positive ones. And well, I guess it could, the negative ones too. It might help flip it around in your head if you were grateful for what you can learn from the negative emotion that you're feeling. But you want to turn that around really fast. You don't want to entertain it any more than you want. But you can start to see how these laws intertwine and create a synergy of energy as we put them all together. Next slide. By allowing yourself to feel the circumstances that you want. So you don't have to actually even be in the circumstance that you desire, that you want to manifest, but allow yourself to feel what it would feel like. Imagine what it would feel like. When you do that, you are putting yourself in the vibration of that circumstance. And just like moths to a light bulb at night, that energy, that circumstance is going to be more efficiently drawn to you and happen in a better way. Next slide. So now it's your turn. What I'd like you to do is just to take some time. I know we all get really busy, but it really helps if you can just take some time in a quiet place. Take some deep breaths to relax, and then just close your eyes and visualize something that you would like to have manifested in your life. It doesn't even have to seem real or possible to you right now. It only has to be vivid. Okay, you have to have an intense emotion. You want it to be vivid, like the colors of the flowers in these butterflies and dragonflies. You want to hold it there for as long as you can. And that's a lot easier. Sometimes you might want to have music playing to help you visualize, but find some place where you can just be quiet and not going to be interrupted, that you can do that. Next slide. This is our last slide. It's a simple task, but it's hard at first if you're not used to doing it. If you're not used to visualizing the circumstances that you want and trying to feel what it would feel like to be in that position. But pretty soon, the more you do it, you're going to notice that new ideas are going to start coming your way. New opportunities are going to open up. New people will be brought into your life, and you're on your way. When you are finally in harmony with what you have been vividly visualizing, you'll feel it coming even before it's there. You'll just know it's on its way. Remember 4 weeks ago, we discussed understanding law and the difference between the competitive plane and the creative plane? All around us, there is abundance and opportunities. So why do we experience lack? Because we are not yet in harmony with the abundance and opportunities. We're not at that vibration. Our vibration's too low. So like a radio transmitter, we are constantly sending out vibrations. Those vibrations will just pass by things that are not in tune with their frequency. Just like there's music all around you, but if you don't have a radio to connect to that vibration, you're not going to hear it. But they will resonate with anything that is in tune with those vibrations, just like the radio. Doesn't matter whether it's people, situations, opportunities, or things. Anything we need to fulfill that vibration will be drawn to us. This is law. Like Einstein said earlier, it's not philosophy, it's physics. So don't fear and worry or doubt. Remember, these are negative vibrations that repel your creative process. So pay close attention to your thoughts and emotions and grab opportunity and learn. That's the real goal. Back to you, Kurt.
Awesome, Kay. Thank you. You know, the reality of wavelengths or vibrations became a reality to me as a young man. Driving, I wanted a CB radio back in the day. Remember the CBs? And I know the truckers still use them. And the antenna, they said, had to be, I think it was 9 feet long. I could have that a little bit off. And the reason that they gave me is the antenna had to be 9 feet long because it had to catch the whole wave in order to receive it. Now, as technology developed, they were able to figure out how to do that with a shorter antenna, winding it and so on and so forth. But I thought that was just fascinating to me. So the reality of wavelengths and vibrations and all that, and really what it is, like the radio or like the CB or like the brain, you're putting it in the path of that so that you're able to receive it and do something with it. And so that's true of vibrations. It's also true of physically, you know, if you're the type that says, oh, Kay and Sarah, they have such a great relationship, I wish I had that. Well, Kay and Sarah put themselves, first of all, their brains in the path towards success, and then their bodies that carry their brains to an event that put them in the path. So it's all about being intentional in working these things out. So thank you, Kay, and I really hope people do take every thought captive in their mind and direct then their emotions. One of the things I talk a lot about with people is the definition of hypocrisy. Emotions are, you know, but hypocrisy is not going against your emotions. Hypocrisy is going against what you choose to believe in and where you say you're going to go if you act in a contrary way to that. But when I have these negative vibrations and emotions, I say, well, I have to act those out or speak them out or feel them, or I'm being untrue to myself. That's a bunch of baloney. No. That's not hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is going against your path, your chosen path, your beliefs, your doctrines, your professions, where you want to go. And so don't let this whole emotional thing wig you out, guys. It's really real. Kay's saying is really, really true. And if you'll understand the dynamics to cooperate more with it, you'll be successful like Kay Curtis and find great friends like Sarah Sotis and have fun and success in business. So thank you, Kay. Really appreciate not only your training, but the example that you give here at the E-Commerce Business School. Any questions, thoughts, comments, or kudos for Kay here as we wrap it up today? Debbie says, awesome stuff. Earl says, good words, Kay. Kathy says, this is so true. Anything like that. Then you got some feedback on the restaurants, Kay. Lucinda, TJ Maxx snack. I had no idea TJ Maxx had a snack aisle, but I'll look for that, Lucinda, if I'm ever in a TJ Maxx, which I never am. Jana, parking lot picnics. Okay. And Panera Bread. I'm with you on that one, Kathy. So, and you never told us yours, Kay. What's your favorite?
Probably the closest one where I'm at when I'm hungry, but I like Panera Bread. I feel like I can eat a little bit healthier there. Sarah could probably find something to eat at Panera.
Sure. My daughter vacillates from vegan to vegetarian back and forth, so I'm a little bit familiar with that world too, and it's really improved my eating quite a bit, but I won't go there today. Race to Minnesota, physically, but get in the vibrations of all of us that are going, and you'll benefit from it by participating in these contests. And if you do want to know more about what's happening in July in Minnesota, you can go to ebstrifecta.com and get all of those details. We have literally, I should switch some of these out. I've had the same ones now for weeks. We have hundreds and hundreds of testimonies of people that just love our events. You need to see it on the calendar. This is when it is, July 18, 19, 20, and 21. 18 is just kind of a meet and greet, and hot tub if you want it, like he likes to say. So just have a lot of fun at our events and really hope that you can make it. What this series is for is to prepare you mentally and attitudinally, if you will, whether you actually can make it physically to Minnesota or not, to enjoy this path, this race, this celebration, and see people's businesses move forward in significant ways. So let's see if there's any last comments before we call it a day, Kay, or if you have any.
Sarah sending us all vegan vibrations.
I am feeling hungry for a salad, Sarah, so thank you, All right. Thanks, everybody. Curtis and Curtis Show done for today. Same time, same station next week. Thank you, Kay.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.